Sam Roberts at Gorington Road on a Thursday night. I've managed to catch up with Martin Hines. Well, a lovely delight to speak to you on a Thursday evening ahead of a long trip down to Plymouth. But we'll talk about last weekend. You must have been quite pleased about the way that the boys went about their business, because that Bees pack, they're no mugs, are they?
It was very pleasing for the lads, to be honest with you. Over the past, 6-8 weeks, they've put a lot of hard work in with the set piece and not really had much reward for it. I thought at times against the Welsh, the scrum had gone well, and obviously last week you're dead right, it went well for us both with the scrum and the line out against the Bees, against Birmingham. But for all the hard work until that game, they hadn't really had much reward for it. And the best thing for me is, to be quite honest, it had nothing to do with me. It's the lads have tweaked to things, and the lads have got together and said they really wanted to achieve in this area. And fair play, they've come up with the goods.
But this is what it's about, isn't it? This is about what we're trying to generate here is about a situation where people take responsibility. And I think from that point of view, that was only too pleasing.
Exactly. I mean, to a point, there's a lot of people, a lot of people in the industry sort of hide behind that, saying they want player power, etc., and people to take ownership. It's only good when it's managed from the management, and we're quite happy with what the boys wanted to do, and we'll let them crack on and have a go at it, and it's lovely that we can turn around and see that it's worked. So that's very nice for us. You're dead right that the lads actually they do care enough to put that extra little bit of homework into it.
And what it did, coupled with the result on the following day with Worcester and London Welsh, was that it actually secured a second place. Just a little brief word on, because that must have been something that you wanted to achieve, but having achieved it, it must be real credit. I'm not looking for a slap on the back moment. I'm sure you're not, because we're in and amongst things. But a little word on that's a great achievement for this club.
Well, there's some desperation from the lads as well for two things, really. A, we wanted to achieve, and B, to be quite honest and frank with you, we didn't want to get against Worcester. Not that we're trying to belittle in any other way the sides that we will have to play, because they're all going to be tough games. But I honestly believe that Worcester are, the strongest side in the competition at the minute. So, it'd be foolhardy to sort of be a bit bravado and say, "Oh, we're happy to go against Worcester," because quite honestly we wouldn't be. But if we can, lead our side of the playoffs in that pole position, then happy days. That's great to be. That's great to be sat there at the top.
Now, looking ahead to this weekend, some perhaps ill-educated men would say it is a dead rubber, but from Bedford's point of view, it's about momentum. We've got to go down there and play just as well as we have been, because we've got such an important few games coming up. We can't go down there with anything other than the absolute ultimate game plan.
No, you're dead right. There's a couple of things here, we've always said this, and it's something, again, some people could be a bit sort of blasé about, but we've honestly believed that it will take a squad to enable us to push on, and we've tried to, wherever we could, to use the squad at all times. And there's some lads who are desperate to put in a performance, and just last week down in Swansea, there were lads down there. And it was a crappy old night with the weather, and we've been on the road a long time, and we only got back at 4 o'clock in the morning. But I can tell you now, when that whistle went, there were some desperate lads out there trying to prove a point for selection and for themselves. And I'm hopingly that this will be the same this weekend, that there'll be lads out there, showing some desperation.
Absolutely. And one final word about Plymouth. They're a canny side. They'll always be a canny side with that certain gentleman at the helm. You expecting nothing less this weekend? I'm sure you're expecting some serious tests. Yeah,
Dorsey will expect nothing else other than hard work from his lads. And they're an honest group down there. Sometimes the ball bounces for them, sometimes it doesn't, and who knows how it's going to pan out for us on Saturday. But I know how he is. He was as a player and as a person. He's a tough cookie, and he wouldn't expect anything different from his lads. So we're expecting a roll his sleeves up 80 minutes, and whoever is still on the feet and at the end of the 80 minutes will hopefully win the day.
Thank you for your time, Heinze. Good luck.
Cheers out.